All right, welcome back to the channel, everyone. This is Decoding with Cody. This is a live stream. Today is Friday, April 18th, 2025. And we have a super stream for you guys tonight, a live stream. Going to cover the Wrestlemania that's coming up. Thank you, Coffee Girl, for the thumbs up. Appreciate that. We're going to cover the big events going on this week, and it's more than just WrestleMania. There's a lot of stuff going on this weekend. Resurrection weekend. And this is the first time ever that there's going to be a WrestleMania on Resurrection weekend. And there's been 41 of these, and this is the first one ever. So we're going to dive into this, guys. Thanks everyone in the chat for tuning in today. Thank you, Susan Donahue. Thank you, Coffee Girl. Thank you, Perseus. Much love to everyone. And we're going to, as usual, give about a minute or two, and we're going to let some people roll in here. And then we're going to dive right into this because I got a lot to talk about. I have a lot to talk about. Let's just put it that way. So, and with Easter, this is the resurrection weekend. This is Easter. This is the time of the year that big rituals go down. And again, I don't think it's a coincidence that this is the first WrestleMania ever to be on Easter. And I think that if you haven't seen the decodes from other community members, a lot of community members have, especially Decoding Our Reality. He put out a decode about April 20th, which of course is the day of this WrestleMania. So if you guys haven't checked out his channel, please make sure you guys go check out Decoding Our Reality. Let me just type that in and put that comment up so you guys know which channel I'm talking about. I'm just going to type a comment in here. So, whoops, I spelled it wrong, but whatever. Decoding Our Reality with the Y there that's not there. So if you guys haven't, okay, first of all, I don't know why I can't type today. Hold on, let me take that comment down. Okay, there he is. He's already in the chat. So there's the channel I wanted to talk about. He already put out a great video talking about the huge connections between April 20th and Trump and the plane crashes. And I'm going to add on to this. So if you guys haven't seen his video, it's important to kind of watch these. I don't know. We'll see. There could be something that goes down on this day, but I don't know. We're going to have to see. But at any rate, wrestling is always, it seems like there's always a huge wrestling event on these big days. Like it seems to never fail that these big wrestling events seem to align with these big days, right? And again, I only got 49 people in the chat right now, but hopefully some more people roll in because I know most people are tired to hear about wrestling, but come on, guys. This is the gold mine of the entertainment world. I mean, what I'm going to show you in this decode is once again going to prove that wrestling is, in my opinion, the best way to see the rituals on the world stage. So yeah, we're going to jump into it. Seems like maybe there's a lot of people that are busy tonight, so might have a bit of lower stream tonight, but hopefully we get some people in here. But please hit those like buttons, and we're going to go ahead and get started. So for those of you watching on the replay, so that I can get through it faster. So WrestleMania 41. 41 is the 13th prime number. So 13 is another huge number. And 41 is a huge number. Actually, 9/11 happened on date numerology of 41. 41 again is the 13th prime number. Kobe Bryant died at 41 days after the Pope's birthday while he was going to traveling from Catholic Mass. Lots of 41s, man. And Kobe Bryant one of the really big 41 rituals. I don't have anything about Kobe Bryant in this decode, but certainly Kobe Bryant will be tied to this. But we're going to talk about WrestleMania. We're going to talk about Hitler, right? We're going to talk about Jesus. Jesus and Judas is the main theme of this. That's why I put Jesus and Judas here in the background. So the main theme of this is Jesus and Judas. And I'm going to show you how this whole thing is connected to Jesus and Judas. And it springs off into Hitler. And then we're going to talk about Jupiter, the astrology aspect of this. And then, of course, we're going to talk about the characters involved in this thing. So let's dive into it. So the first thing I want to point out is the news that's breaking today that happened yesterday. And again, guys, this is just more proof that wrestling is a gold mine. I just told you it's super important to pay attention to this wrestling stuff. Why? Well, first of all, our current president of the United States is in the WWE Hall of Fame. President Donald Trump is in the WWE Hall of Fame. In fact, he was at WrestleMania 23 when Donald equals 23 in gematria. And he actually was involved in a match where the guy he chose to fight for him was fighting this guy right here, Umaga. Yes, you heard that right, guys. This wrestler's name is Umaga, like MAGA. And look at what Umaga is wearing here. He's wearing the Ula Fala. Now, the Ula Fala is a ceremonial crowning of a tribal chief in Samoan culture. And how many times on this channel have I talked about Roman Reigns, this guy right here, wearing the Ula Fala, representing the tribal chief? And look at Donald Trump yesterday, literally getting crowned with the Ula Fala, my friends. Okay, and here is The Rock, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Here is his grandfather, Peter Maivia, wearing the Ula Fala. So here's Umaga, who had a connection with Trump in the wrestling world, wearing the Ula Fala. Here's Trump getting crowned with the Ula Fala. Here's Roman Reigns, as in the Roman Reigns, the Roman Catholic Church reigns. Roman Reigns wearing the Ula Fala, okay? So let's just look at this. So the Ula Fala represents the tribal chief. So let's read this article. President Donald Trump becomes the tribal chief and is presented with the Ula Fala. Roman Reigns revealed he voted for him. I mean, come on, guys. The day that Roman Reigns comes out and reveals he supports Donald Trump, he's a registered Democrat, Roman Reigns, supposedly. He comes out and he says yesterday that he supports Donald Trump. And that same day, it just happens to be that the guy from the American Samoa is at the White House putting the Ula Fala around Donald Trump's neck, when Roman Reigns is literally the character who wears the Ula Fala. And the same day, Roman Reigns is saying that he supports Donald Trump. I mean, even the wrestling fans, the normie wrestling fans were asking, what's the chances of that? What's the chances that Donald Trump comes out and gets the Ula Fala the same day that Roman Reigns says he supports Donald Trump? And again, how many times on this channel have I talked about Roman Reigns and the Ula Fala? And look at what Ula Fala equals, guys. This happens to Trump just before the WrestleMania in Vegas. And Ula Fala equals Vegas. Okay? Ula Fala also equals love in 2 ciphers. So there's a huge love riddle here that I'm not going to even get into because there's so much to talk about. But like Ula Fala represents Vegas, right? Right before Vegas, Trump gets the Ula Fala, okay? And this bloodline, right? This bloodline, and yes, the Jesuit order equals 54. And in fact, let me just also bring this up before we even get into this. This whole thing is going to be tied to Jesus. And the Jesuit motto is Isus Hominum Salvator, which is abbreviated IHS, okay? And IHS equals 18. Now, this is in the same cipher as Vegas and as Ula Fala. Now, the Jesuit colors are often depicted as black and red. And what color is Roman Reigns wearing? Black and red. I mean, what color is Trump wearing essentially? Black and dark blue and red. So pretty close. But yeah, the black and red, huge connection with the colors of the Jesuits and the Catholic Church. Now, here is the meat of the presentation. So that's just the beginning, guys. This is nothing. So this whole thing is tied to Jesus and Judas. This whole event on Easter is tied to Jesus and Judas. And remember, the reason that this main event match is happening between John Cena and Cody Rhodes is because Cena was portraying Judas and he betrayed Cody. Okay? You guys remember a month or so ago, I talked many times about, and that's true too. And Zifrin says the red and black is the Satan colors too. Exactly. And this is on somebody else who's going to be there at WrestleMania is Travis Scott. And Travis Scott is born on the founding date of the Church of Satan. In fact, I mean, let me show you guys something with Trump that I think you guys should know as we come into this. So how is Trump connected to the Church of Satan? Because so let me just go through this here. See if I can find the thing I want. Actually, never mind that. I'm just going to skip that for now because we have so much more to talk about. So, all right. Anyways, so the gematria, again, what we do on this channel is we take gematria, which is the numerical code, and we're going to use one of the most important ciphers in gematria, which is the Latin or Jewish gematria, the purple gematria here. Now, in this cipher, these are very important, guys. This is the cipher that you don't get often matches, right? Now, I want you to notice that Jesus equals 985, okay? I want you to notice that Judas equals 895. And I want you to notice that Donald Trump equals 589. So, yes, and WrestleMania 41 is in paradise. How about that, guys? Paradise. But this 895 is important, guys. We just had this number manifest itself in the world of sports 2 weeks ago when the Alexander the Great, Ovechkin, scored his 895th goal to pass Wayne Gretzky for the all-time goal-scoring record. This 895 is going to be the main topic of this decode. This represents Judas. This represents Cena, who became Judas and betrayed Cody Rhodes, just like Judas, okay? This is essentially what John Cena, who represents Jesus initially, but also is playing the role of Judas, okay? John Cena is JC, but he became Judas when he sold his soul and betrayed Cody Rhodes, who at that time was representing kind of Jesus in a way. I'm not saying these people are, this is a symbolic nature, guys. This is not like truly how it is, but these characters are representing stories, okay? And this specifically is the story of Resurrection Easter. Now, Gunther, so this is the other wrestling match. The other wrestling match is Gunther, the German, or the Austrian, like Hitler, versus Jey Uso, Jesus. You can literally almost say Jey Uso's name and say Jey Uso, right? Jesus. Very close. So not only do you have John Cena and Cody Rhodes, and you have Jey Uso and you have Hitler. Okay, so this is going to get deep here, right? Now, all of these characters are born in the year 1985. And why am I bringing up the year 1985? Because 985 is in the year 1985. You see it right there, guys? In the year 1985, you have 985. Well, that is the gematria of Jesus, okay? So Cody Rhodes, born in 1985. Jey Uso, born in 1985. Roman Reigns, who I started out this decode, born in 1985. Alexander Ovechkin, who just broke the goal-scoring record 2 weeks ago, born in 1985. Okay, so this number, 985 or 895, is going to continue to come up, right? So how about this, guys? So this is this should blow your mind on how perfect this all is. So John Cena is looking to become the record-breaking 17-time champion on 420 at WrestleMania. Right now, he's currently on 16, which is tied with Ric Flair for the most all time. John Cena won his 16th championship. The last championship Cena won was in the first year of Donald Trump's first term, on 9 days after Trump's first inauguration. John Cena won his 16th world championship. From the day John Cena won his 16th world championship to the day that Alexander Ovechkin broke the 895 record on 4/6 2 weeks ago was 8 years, 9 weeks, 5 days. Guys, that's the exact number of goals this guy scored on that day, 895, okay? So just keep this in mind. You guys might be thinking, okay, Cody, that's interesting, but that's not like the biggest thing ever. Like, what's that even mean? Well, John Cena is trying to break the record, right? Alexander Ovechkin broke the record with 895. Okay, so just keep that in mind. John Cena was born the same span before Cody Rhodes. Do you guys get this? From the day that John Cena won his 16th world championship to the day Alexander scored his 895th goal for the record was 8 years, 9 weeks, and 5 days. The two guys who were facing at WrestleMania were born 8 years, 9 weeks, and 5 days apart, the same exact span. Wow. On top of that, when Cena lost his 16th championship, the last time he lost a title, that's going to be 8 years, 9 weeks, and 5 days before he can win his 17th title. You guys get this? 895, the same span between Cena and Ovechkin, scoring 895. The two guys fighting equals 895. The two guys that are fighting each other are born 895 apart. From Cena's losing his last title to a chance to win his next title is the same span. Now, this is where it gets crazy, guys. The first time when Cena lost his last title, it was in the year of Donald Trump's first inauguration, 2017. From the Donald Trump's first inauguration to the Myanmar earthquake was the same span, guys. 895. The same span as I just showed you 3 other times. And why is this earthquake important? Because it just happened. It happened near Mandalay, Myanmar. Guys, the WrestleMania is going to be near Mandalay Bay in Las Vegas. In February 1998, the project Mandalay Bay officially named Mandalay Bay after the city of Mandalay in Myanmar. So from Donald Trump's first inauguration to the Myanmar earthquake, 895. Just like Cody Rhodes and John Cena are born 895 apart, John Cena broke the record or tied the record 895 before Alexander broke the record with 895. And John Cena can win his 17 championship 895 after he lost his last one. Okay? Now, this is even crazier. Big shout out to Widow's Son in the chat. He brought in the time span. Because remember, guys, on a clock, you can measure time, right? Well, if you go 895 minutes into the day, You're going to land on 2:55 p.m. That's important, guys, because the day of WrestleMania is the 255 days in the year. Okay, so even the day left in the year, 255 days left in the year, connects to 895 minutes into the day is 2:55 p.m. So let me hold on a second. I gotta shift something here. Let's see. 1 second. All right. So let's just lay this all out in one slide and just show how perfect this is. Guys, I want you to understand, I got 46 likes. Please hit the like button if I did not nail this decode on this whole thing. This was all connected to Alexander Ovechkin's 895th goal, the record that he just broke, and it all connects back to this number. From Donald Trump's first inauguration to the Myanmar earthquake this year, 895, the same span. From John Cena's 16th championship win to the day that Alexander scored 895, 895. From John Cena's losing his 16th championship to his chance to win his next one, 895. From Cena's birth to Cody Rhodes' birth, 895. This is astronomically improbable. Okay, this is undeniable. Like, the whole world should see this because this is not a coincidence when you measure all these significant events somehow tied together currently, and they all have the same exact date span. Okay? This is I broke the code with this whole WrestleMania. I broke. Now, does this mean that John Cena wins his 17th championship and beats Cody Rhodes? Maybe. I'm still a bit on the fence, but I'm definitely leaning towards Cena. But you know how these people are. They throw us through loops. You know how this reality is. It throws us for loops. It's not even just the people doing it. It's the whole reality itself. Okay? And don't forget, the day of the year, 255 days left in the year, WrestleMania, that's, if you go 2:55 p.m., that's 895 minutes into the day. So that's just one more connection. Big shout out to Widow's Son. All right, so this is where it gets absolutely crazy connected to Jesus, man. This is so crazy what I'm about ready to show you. When Cena won his first WWE championship, it was on April 3rd, 2005. Guys, there is a theory online that the day that Jesus was crucified was April 3rd, 33. This 33 is going to be important as we go through. So John Cena won his championship, his first championship, technically on the day that Jesus was crucified. And I showed you last night in my comment, I showed you last night in my comment section that, okay, let's just go look at that real fast because I got to bring this up. Hold on. Okay, it's this one. Look at this. Just 3 weeks before WrestleMania, they literally posted this video, guys. Look at what they posted. I mean, if the world does not understand this, I just don't understand why people are so freaking asleep, man. How can this? You don't even need numbers to understand what they're telling you here. They literally wrote Cody Rhodes nails. They didn't even have to use the word nails. I've never seen WWE use the word nails before, except for on this video title. And why on this video title? Why on this one? Because look at what it says. Cody Rhodes nails JC to the cross 3 weeks before their match. The reason it has to be 3 weeks is because there is no WWE show 3 days before their match. So it had to be 3 weeks before their match. Guys, Jesus was crucified on the cross with nails 3 days before he rose. And Cody Rhodes, dude, the crossroads, he nails John Cena, JC, to the crossroads. And look how he's holding him. Crucifying him right there in front of us, guys. How can this be a coincidence? You know they had to think this through. Why did they put nails in there? I've never seen them put nails in this ever. That's not a word you normally use in wrestling. He nails him with a move? No, never. But they used it intentionally. This is intentionally used. Nails. I just can't stress to you how big this is here, guys. This intentionally using the word nails here, it's just crazy, okay? So why is that important? Because Jesus, supposedly, the theory is that he was crucified on April 3rd, 33, right? Now, John Cena won his first championship on April 3rd, right? So remember, going back to all these 895s, right? How important this number is, because 895 is the number of Judas and Jesus is 985, okay? So, but here's all your 895s. So now I decided, what if I go 895, the same date span, from the day that John Cena won his first title on the day that Jesus was supposedly crucified? What happened 895, 8 years, 9 weeks, and 5 days after that? Guys, look at what they say happened on wrestling 8 years, 9 weeks, and 5 days after Cena's first championship. Raw results on June 10, 2013, Cena and Ryback meet at Hell's Gates. And Ziggler returns. Oh my gosh, guys. Are you understanding what I'm showing you? This is supposedly the date that Cena won his first title, which is the day that Jesus was crucified. 895 later, the headline in wrestling is Cena goes to Hell's Gate with Ryback. And this is before their match called the 3 Stages of Hell. So do you guys, let me know in the chat if you guys understand what this really is telling you here. Jesus was crucified and went into the earth for 3 days. 895 after Cena's first championship, Cena is going to prepare to be at Hell's Gates before his 3 stages of hell. The 3 stages of hell representing the 3 days that Jesus was in the earth buried. Okay? And what I'm going to show you next is what brings this all together, because you have to understand the date that they say that Jesus was crucified is so important here. 4/3/33, okay? So let's go. Guys, from the day that these two met at Hell's Gates before the 3 stages of hell to the championship match between Cody Rhodes and John Cena this weekend is 4/3/33 days. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That is supposedly the day that Jesus was crucified. 4/3/33. That's the day, 4/3/33. So the 895 leads us to this, and then from there we go to here, which leads us to the day that Jesus was crucified. 4/3/33. That is the date. I mean, that right there is astronomically impossible. Okay? And why is this guy, Ryback, the guy that Cena fought on this day, why is he so important to this? Guess where he was born, guys? Guess where this guy was born? In Vegas, which is where this match is going to take place. And what is Vegas, guys? It's Sin City. You can think of it as hell. I mean, think about Sin City. It's pretty much like an allegory for hell. The underworld. I mean, all the stuff that goes on in Sin City, right? Yeah, right here it is. Ryback, the guy who was 895 days after Cena's first title, was at the 3 stages of hell. He just happens to be born in Las Vegas, Nevada. And look how old he is right now, guys. 43. That's the date. That's the day Jesus was crucified again. That's the day that John Cena won his first championship, 4-3. And this guy, Ryback, just happens to be 43 right now, and he's from Las Vegas. And this match is going to be in Vegas. And again, I showed you this. This was already proven with this. Cody Rhodes nails John Cena to the cross 3 weeks before the match. Like Jesus was nailed to the cross 3 days before he rose. Okay. And let's not forget who was the one who made John Cena turn on Cody Rhodes? It was The Rock. And guys, what had to happen for what had to happen for Jesus Christ to rise out of the tomb? The Rock had to be rolled away. You guys get it? It was The Rock, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, who caused John Cena, JC, to turn on Cody Rhodes. And The Rock, in order for Jesus to rise, The Rock needs to be rolled away, right? Like The Rock, okay? The stone, The Rock. And look at how, okay, so this is, we're going to go off on a bit of a detour for a second, because the stadium that Wrestlemania is in is known as the Death Star. That is a clear reference to the Star Wars Death Star. Guys, just guess how old John Cena freaking was on the day that this movie released. Oh, by the way, guess when Star Wars released, guys? On Roman Reigns' birthday. 8 years before Roman Reigns was born, Star Wars released. Remember, I started this whole decode talking about Roman Reigns. But John Cena was 33 days old on the release date of the Star Wars. And he's going to be trying to win his 17th title in the Death Star. And Death Star equals 33. But what's even more miraculous about this is this whole decode is about the number 895, right? When you type out the number 895 in Latin gematria, 33 equals 895. Can you believe it? 33 equals 895 in Latin gematria. And this is how old John Cena was on Star Wars release. And this is how old Jesus was supposedly when he was crucified, 33. And again, what's up with this 895? Because that's what Jesus or Judas equals. And this all parallels Jesus and Judas, okay? And for those of you just getting in, you guys might not understand why I'm talking about 895, but you're going to have to understand, you're going to have to go back and watch. I can't re-explain all this necessarily, but here is the overview of everything, okay? Guys, this is one of my best decodes ever, I think. Like, I'm blessed that God let me find this, because this is mind-blowing. This is craziness, especially this connection with the 4333, right? And again, 33 equals 895. John Cena was 33 days old. John Cena can go from his 16th championships to his 17th. 16 plus 17 equals 33. 16, 17 is let me just show you something here. So John Cena is currently on 16 championships. He can win his 17th championship. And the number 1617 is the 33rd pentagonal. And 16, yeah, it's just crazy, man. 1617 is the 33rd pentagonal number. And 16 plus 17 equals 33. 16 plus 17 equals 33. John Cena has 16 titles. He can win his 17th title. And he can do this in the Death Star, right? Let me find that again. Yeah, he can do this in the Death Star, which equals 33. I don't know when my computer's not loading. Hold on. So yeah, anyway, he can do this in the Death Star, which equals 33. Yeah, so you guys get the point. Now look at this. Oh, holy crap. So Widow's son just made a huge find in the chat. Hold on, we got to stop. We got to stop, guys. We have to stop. OMG, John Cena was 9805 days old when Passion of the Christ released. What in the world? Holy moly. I have to drop my phone now because... Okay, what was the date of Passion of the Christ release? Hold on, let me just look it up. February 25th, 2004. Okay, so John Cena, born 1977 on 4/23 to, what was the date again? February 25th, 2004. Wow, look at that, guys. John Cena was 985 days old on the Passion of the Christ. Again, what is the 985? It's Jesus, guys. Jesus, 985. Why do you think my channel is Decoding with Cody 589? This is a very important combination of numbers, man. These numbers together, 5 and 8 and 9, are very powerful. For some reason, these numbers are very powerful. Probably because Jesus equals 985. All right. So, wow. I mean, that is just absolutely amazing find by Widow's son. 985 days, John Cena. And look at this. John Cena was 3223 days old on Passion of the Christ, man. John Cena, JC, 3223. Not only was he the Jesus number, 985, he was the Skull and Bones, 3223. Backwards and forwards. And look at this. In moon phases, he was 332 lunar phases. 332 is the dog star. This is serious. I'm not even going to get into that right now, but that's huge too. But man, that's just wild. And how many days has it been since the release of that until, let me just look something here. Wait, John Cena's first championship was on 4/3/2005. Oh my gosh, 400. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Okay, from John Cena's birth to Passion of the Christ was 985, like Jesus, okay? From Passion of the Christ to John Cena's first world championship on the day that Jesus was crucified, right here, was 404 days. Guys, that's the amount of verses in Revelation. 404 is the amount of verses in Revelation, my friends. This is a perfect code. And it's got the 138 in here to represent Donald Trump, who equals 138. Like, this is Revelation. Why do you think John Cena's walking around right now with a t-shirt that says the last time is now? What does that represent, guys? It's Revelation. After this, you can't see me. You guys see what his shirt says? The last time is now. After this, you can't see me. Why? Because you've gone up. You've resurrected. When they went to see the stone, they come to the grave, okay, and they see that Jesus is not there, and they say he is risen. John Cena is mockingly portraying that by saying, after this, you can't see me. I won't be there anymore. If you go to the tomb, you're not going to see me. Right? And Widow's Son says revelation means unveiling. Opening the door, unveiling something. But what did they find when they roll the stone away? They find nothing. Because Jesus was not there. He was risen. So why is John Cena wearing the last time is now, right? And why is he saying after this you can't see me, right? And his first championship was 404 days after the Passion of the Christ, which is the book of Revelation. Okay? 404 verses. Okay, well, we got to try another measurement, guys. We have to go from the date that Passion of the Christ came out to the date of Wrestlemania this year. Well, the one thing I'm seeing there is I'm seeing an Antichrist connection here. I'm seeing a revelation. Look at this. From the day that he won from the day of Passion of the Christ to his wrestling match versus Cody Rhodes, 7,726 days. Well, this is a huge number, guys. 726 is revelation. And notice how revelation is one number off from 895. In Sumerian, 894. If you add the 1 or the Jesus to the 894, you get the 895, which is the number of this decode. But look at Revelation. It equals 726. From the release of Passion of the Christ to this year, to this Wrestlemania, 7,726 days. So you have your 726 right there. And that's a huge number with Revelation, with Antichrist. Whoop. Guys, I wrote Anticrust. Oh, wow. Anticrust. What does that mean? Hey, guys, we're going to have the Anticrust. All right, here we go. Just a joke. The Anticrust. The pizza crust is the Antichrist. All right. So, no. 726, Antichrist, and Revelation, 726. And notice they both have the 894, right? This 894 is one off from the 895, which is the big number of this decode. So let's go from the Passion of the Christ, the day that he was crucified or nailed. Oh, wow. Wow. $775. That's the number of love, guys. Let me show you that. Huge number for love. You see that 775 for love? Jesus was crucified on the cross because of his love for humanity. 775 is the amount of time between the passion of the Christ and John Cena being crucified. Hold on, right here, this event right here, between passion of the Christ and this event was 7,705 days. This is love. So that's interesting. I mean, that's not the hugest connection, but I think that's what it's pointing to. And look at the day that Passion of the Christ came out, 225. And 225 is this year, 2025. So all right, so let's keep going. I still have more slides. We're not even close to done with this. So look at this. Going back to the 895s, in Satanic Gematria, the guy that John Cena is going to be facing is the American Nightmare. And what are the chances that in reverse Satanic, American Nightmare equals 895? Huh. All right, so there's just another 895 for you. But this is where it gets a bit serious, guys. Because this all connects to Adolf. I'm not even going to say his full name. I don't want my video getting demonetized or anything. I don't want any of that. But we're just going to talk about this briefly because this is a huge riddle. Because Adolf, his birthday will be the date of Wrestlemania. In fact, it will be Adolf's 136th birthday. That is important because 136 is the 16th triangular number. And the two men who will be fighting on Hitler's 136th birthday are Cody and John, which both equals 16. Okay? So again, Hitler, his 136th birthday, that's the 16th triangular. Cody and John both equal 16. John Cena comes into this match on 16 championships, trying to get his 17th. Now look at this. This guy, Adolf, was trying to take out the the JEWs. Well, Jewish Messiah equals 895 in standard gematria, like concentration camp. So look at these words that equal 895, guys. Remember, I told you Judas equals 895. 33 equals 895. And ritual human sacrifice, 895. Mr. Adolf was known for his concentration camps. Concentration camp equals 895 in the same cipher as Jewish Messiah. And again, this all connects back to the Jewish people, okay? Now, this is where it gets crazy because when John Cena lost his 16th championship, he lost it in Elimination Chamber, my friends. Look. This event is called Elimination Chamber. This is a direct connection to concentration camps. So this is a bit, I do not want to even think about this. Oh, do I have a comment thing up? Sorry, hold on. But let's think about this for a second. If we go to this Elimination Chamber in 2017, look at this Elimination Chamber 2017. There's a reason why they can't call it Elimination Chamber in Germany, guys, because that would be too much for the German people to handle because you guys know what happened with Elimination Chambers in Germany. No Escape is the name of the show in Germany. So they literally had to call it no escape. Instead of calling it elimination chamber, they had to call it no escape. So this is where John Cena lost his last championship, inside of a chamber, guys. This is a direct reference to Adolf, and you guys know what. And what are the chances this whole decode connects to the number 895 and concentration camp equals 895? Now, not only did Cena lose his last championship at Elimination Chamber, when he betrayed Cody Rhodes and became Judas, he did that at the same show, Elimination Chamber. On March 1st, 2025, just a couple months ago, John Cena at Elimination Chamber became Judas, and he beat Cody Rhodes, The Rock. You guys get it? The Rock needs to be rolled away, and Jesus, but in this case, Cody Rhodes is the one being whipped. Okay? Cody Rhodes is being whipped like by his stripes, we are healed. Big shout out to Widow's Son again for these connections. He always mentions this, and this is all his ideas, really. Without him, I wouldn't have even thought about this probably. But look at this. Cody Rhodes gets whipped at Elimination Chamber, just like John Cena lost his last one at Elimination Chamber in 2017. So they're directly referencing. Yeah, the Fiend is connected to this as well. I haven't even been able to go into the Fiend. Like, we maybe after the presentation, I can talk more about the Fiend and Bray Wyatt. But again, this is a bit scary, guys, because the 895 points to concentration camps. This match is on Hitler's 136th birthday. John Cena's last championship loss was in Elimination Chamber. He betrayed Cody Rhodes in Elimination Chamber. But let's talk about by his stripes we are healed. Okay? So Jupiter is the striped planet. Now, the phrase by his stripes we are healed is a direct reference to Jesus. Now, Hitler equals Jupiter in 2 out of the 4 base ciphers. Okay? Hitler equals Jupiter. Okay? Jesus had his stripes. Jupiter is the stripe. Now, we have to look at the Jupiter magic square. Every planet has a magic square. And this whole magic square connects us to this Wrestlemania. Why? So let's see how perfect this is. The amount of numbers in the Jupiter magic square are 16 total numbers. This is the huge number with this Wrestlemania because John Cena comes in with 16 championships, Cody equals 16, and John equals 16 in the same cipher. It will be Adolf Hitler's 136th birthday, which is the 16th triangular number. And again, I told you that Hitler equals Jupiter, and Jupiter's magic square contains 16 total numbers. On top of that, the sum of all the numbers in Jupiter's magic square sums to 136. That is how old Hitler will be on this day, guys. I mean, wow. Not only does the gematria of these two things match, but the Jupiter magic square adds up to 136, and that is the age of Adolf on WrestleMania, 136 years old. And think about it. You guys know what? The World War II event with Hitler was all connected to Hitler punishing or giving stripes to the Jewish people, right? He's beating them, right? Essentially, that's what it was. It was a beating, a massacre. But what's even crazier is this whole decode connects back to the number 895. Well, the gematria of one Jupiter, if you type in one Jupiter year, it equals 895. I mean, what's the chances of that, guys? This whole decode I've been talking about 895, right? And if you type in the phrase 1 Jupiter year, it equals 895. So how many days is a Jupiter year? Guys, a Jupiter year is the exact amount of days I already showed you in the beginning of this, back in the beginning of this decode. From the time that John Cena faced Ryback in the 3 stages of hell to WrestleMania this year was 4,333 days. That is 1 Jupiter year, guys. Right? Let's read it. 1 Jupiter year is 4,333 Earth days. By his stripes, we are healed. Stripes, Jesus supposedly crucified on 4,333. 1 Jupiter year is 4,333 days. And from John Cena's 3 stages of hell to WrestleMania is 4,333 days. To coincide once again with a Jupiter year and the date of the crucifixion. So there you go. There you have it, guys. What do you think about this? Let me see some feedback. Some feedback in the chat. What is the astronomical odds of this alignment with the Jupiter year and the stripes? 1 Jupiter year equals 895. That's just mind-blowing to me. And yeah, it's just crazy because Sean from Widow's Son has showed me this kind of stuff a lot, and this just played out so beautifully to where you really can't question it. I mean, it's the 3 stages of hell, like the 3 days Jesus was buried in the earth. And then from there, you get the crucifixion day. So now we're going to go on to even more stuff here, because look at this. In the trigonal cipher, which is all about the tri, like 3s, right? Look at what this match equals. Cody Rhodes versus John Cena, which is what they have written here. It equals 1889. Guys, that is the birthday. Not only is this match Cody Rhodes versus John Cena on Hitler's birthday, Cody Rhodes versus John Cena equals the year that Hitler was born. I mean, what's the odds of that? Cody Rhodes versus John Cena equals 1889? Like, that's the year he was born? What? Oh, yeah. So just ridiculous. All right, so now we have to talk about the whole other match, because there's another match that's the other championship match. Remember, this match is going to feature Gunther, who's from Austria, man. It doesn't get any more obvious than this. Austria. This is the same place that Hitler was from. Austria-Hungary. And Hitler's birthday and WrestleMania is on the 110th day of the year. This guy, the Austrian, the only Austrian wrestler in the whole WWE, by the way, he's the champion right now. And his real name is Walter Hahn. And what are the astronomical odds that his name, Walter Hahn, equals Adolf Hitler? And he's known as the Ring General. And Ring General equals Adolf Hitler. I mean, and this is on the 110th day of the year. President also equals 110. Okay? So this is a clear reference to Hitler. This is even more of a clear reference to Hitler than this even, really. Like, this is like, this guy is from Austria. His name equals Hitler. He's going to be fighting one day before Hitler's birthday. He's known as the Ring General, which equals Adolf Hitler. His name equals, it's so perfect. I don't even know why I put this in this spot, but another interesting fact here is that from Ryback, remember Ryback is the guy who's born in Vegas, the guy who fought Cena in the 3 stages of hell. From Ryback's birth to the birth of Cody Rhodes, who John Cena is going to face this weekend, is 1895. 189 weeks and 5 days. So you have another 895 in there. I thought that was interesting. That's not the hugest, that's not a big deal, but that's definitely interesting. All right, so and while we're on this match, we got to talk a bit more about this match. So Jey Uso and Gunther. So Jey Uso is like Jey Uso, right? And this guy's real name, Jey Uso, his name is Joshua. Okay, so let me just pull him up. Jey Uso, his name is Joshua. And why is that important? Because Joshua is another form name of Jesus. So Joshua equals Jesus. All right, so this is a huge number. You got Joshua, who plays Jey Uso, right? And Jesus equals Joshua. In fact, they're similar. The names come from the same origin, essentially. And don't forget, Jesus Christ itself in reverse equals 74. So huge number. So Joshua, or Jey Uso, he wears the palm tree, right? And I've already explained this in prior videos, but the palm tree is a representation of the Palm Sunday. And we just had Palm Sunday a week ago, right? And this connects to Jey Uso and his palm tree. Now, Easter, Jey Uso is going to be fighting on Easter, okay? And if you look at Jey Uso's theme song, and again, this makes no sense why they called this. They called Jey Uso's theme song Main Event. Can someone please, what is this in the chat? Somebody's spamming the chat. All right. Anyway, so the name of Jey Uso's song is Main Event Ish. So what is Ish? Let me do a chat participation. What is the Ish representing? How does the Ish connect to Easter? I think most of you are smart enough in this chat to understand what this connects to. Why Ish? What does that even mean? Why did they call this song Main Event Ish? But that has no meaning. It only has one meaning that I can think of. Yes, exactly. Mr. Aaron says Ishtar. Can you believe it, man? Why did they give him the song Ish? Ishtar. Like, how perfect is that? And it's called Main Event, guys. Are we about ready to experience the main event? Like, what is the main event? There's a main event coming, and they're calling it the main event on Ishtar. So is there a main event coming on Easter? Specifically, is there a main event coming? Right? A week after Palm Sunday, when Jey Uso is all about the palm trees. Okay? So in my reason, there's no reason to put the Ish in there other than to reference Ishtar. And Ishtar, of course, is Easter. Okay? So, and Ishtar has the 42, and the 42 is a lot like the date 420. And on that note, what does marijuana equal? Hold on. Oh my goodness. Okay. So this word equals 34. Okay, this is 420, right? Well, this 34 is huge because Jesus equals 34. And John Cena equals 34. And Joshua, or Jey Uso's real name, equals 34. This is on 420, which is all about Mary Joanna, right? This event is going to be taking place in Nevada, which equals 34. But why is this important, guys? Because every time you measure 8, or not every time, but if you go from John Cena's birth, right, to Cody Rhodes' birth, the two guys fighting, it's exactly 34 Mercury years. Widow's Son said John Cena fought Undertaker at WrestleMania 34. That's a great addition as well. But look at this. John Cena and Cody Rhodes born exactly 34 Mercury years apart. Again, this is the gematria of John Cena, Jesus, Mary Joanna, Joshua, and Nevada, okay? So this 34 also connects back to Jupiter, because the magic square of Jupiter not only connects to, let's see if I can find this here. Hold on. So the magic square of Jupiter also has a 34 connection, because the square, each row and column and diagonal adds up to 34. So another Jupiter connection to the magic square. But today is 4/18. So we're going to take a little detour again, because we need to talk about Alistair Crowley. On April 20th, 1906. So let's measure, guys. April 20th, 1906 to this year's WrestleMania on April 20th. How many years is that? Boom. So on April 20th, 1906, Alistair Crowley summoned a demon in Shanghai. On April 20, 1906, the self-proclaimed Beast 666 was in Shanghai summoning his holy guardian angel. So it says guardian angel. The visit was to see Elaine Simpson, a former mistress and fellow member of the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn. So this is 119 years ago. Okay. Today is 4/18, 2 days before. Well, Alistair Crowley's The Book of the Law has 4/18. Abracadabra, his word for abracadabra equals 4/18 in Hebrew gematria. Now, in the cipher that's derived from his book, The Book of the Law, which has the 4/18 right on it, in that cipher, Lady Gaga, I've already showed this, her full name equals 4/18. And she just released an album with abracadabra on it, which connects. I already showed this, guys. I already showed a whole decode about Lady Gaga, the 4/18. Now, what do you think's happening today with Lady Gaga? Guys, what are the absolute odds that Lady Gaga is performing today on April 18th, 4/18, at Coachella? And look what it says, guys. Tune in Friday. Mayhem will save you. No return. So Mrs. 4/18, whose name is derived from the Book of the Law, the cipher from the Book of the Law, right? Well, the 4/18 is today, and that's Lady Gaga just happens to be performing today at Coachella, right before WrestleMania. Yeah, and what it says right there, This Friday, mayhem will save you, no return. Huh. I don't know what that means, but that's interesting. So again, this ties back to, again, Crowley on April 20th, 1906, he summons his guardian angel in Shanghai, China. Now, these two, the two guys who are fighting for this, yeah, her performance is very satanic. Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah. And remember, this all connects to the Church of Satan as well. I can't even get into all these connections because there's so many. there's literally so many connections, guys. I can't even keep them all straight. But look at these two guys, Gunther and Jey Uso. Look at how many days apart these two guys who are fighting are. What are the chances they're born 729 days apart? And guys, this is not an arbitrary number. This is a huge, huge number. The fact that these two guys are born 729 days apart is not a coincidence, because Alistair Crowley has a book called Liber 729. It literally has a malatra. And a malatra is an alien-looking being. And this whole thing connects to an ascension ritual. Jey Uso represents the initiate in secret societies. He is initiating himself into the occult. And this initiation, it's hard to explain, but this initiation is from turning to gold, right? So why do you think that Gunther represents the gold, right? He holds the gold. His card is the gold. His name is Gunther, which starts with a G, which connects to the gold. And Jesus, Jey, with the palm tree, the phoenix and the gold. This goes back to the fool's gold riddle, right? So there's a huge connection here. So, and I see people in the chat talking about Abraxas, okay? So first of all, I have a bunch of stuff. Well, I don't have a bunch of stuff, but I have stuff on Abraxas. And Abraxas, in my opinion, Abraxas is just another name for the same thing. It's all the same stuff. But Abraxas probably is like because Abraxas actually is derived, abracadabra is actually derived possibly from Abraxas. But Abraxas equals 66. I'm just getting off topic here. But Abraxas equals 66. And the reason that's important, I think, is because that's the amount of books in the Bible, okay? So the amount of books in the Bible is 66, right? And it's already well known that Abraxas's name actually equals 365, which is the full days in the year, okay? Abraxas represents borders and completions, okay? Thresholds. But Abra, you see the Abra? There's your abracadabra right there. X's kind of reminds you of Christmas almost. If you had an M in here, you could literally get Abra Xmas, right? Abra Xmas, right? So Abra Xmas, if you had the M. But the point is, you have a very close connection. Abra is abracadabra. Think about it. You have the Abrahamic religions, Abraham. You have Abraham in the Bible. You have Abraham Lincoln, who was the 16th president, by the way. So yeah, this decode's not about Abraxas, but I'll have a decode more about that later. I don't want to talk about Abraxas, but it is a topic that I am working on. And Zephyrin says type in House of Abraxas. I'll just do that real fast. Hold on. Yeah, House of Abraxas equals, he says it equals Anunnaki. Does it equal Anunnaki? Oh, wait, hold on. I mean, House of Abraxas equals, oh. House of Abraxas equals this 56 right here, okay? This is a huge number in this cipher. Oh, okay. So House of Abraxas equals 56, right? Like the Eye of Horus, like Society of Jesus, like All-Seeing Eye. Like Corona. Whoops. Like Eye in the Sky. Like this number and this cipher is ridiculous. Like this, I mean, look at what Mr. Adolf equals. I mean, look. I mean, this might be one of the most like important cipher number matches you can have. Eye in the Sky, Coronavirus, All-Seeing Eye, Society of Jesus, Eye of Horus, House of Abraxas, Adolf Hitler. I mean, there's even more. Toilet paper, mind control. Mind control, I forgot about that one. But yeah, we're getting off topic here. This isn't even about I kind of wanted to stay on topic, but this is a good addition. We're going to talk more about Abraxas. But this right here is what I want to get back to, because these two characters being born 729 days apart is a direct reference, in my opinion, to Liber 729 by Alistair Crowley. And I'm not going to get into the depths of this, but maybe in the future video, I will talk more about this whole connection between these two. But now we got to talk about another match, because I'm not even done yet, guys. This Jesus stuff is going to continue, because the other main event match that's happening at WrestleMania is all about Jesus as well. And let's kind of break it down here. We have Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns versus CM Punk. And there's a reason why cards are a big topic in this WrestleMania, because cards are like tarot cards, playing cards, huge symbolism, right? Now, let's look at Seth Rollins first. Seth Rollins is a Jesus character. In the past, he has played the Monday Night Messiah, okay? In fact, Seth Rollins, his name, equals Jesus Christ, okay? Look, he's played the Monday Night Messiah where he dressed like Jesus. He even kind of has the hair that you typically would think to see Jesus as looking like. But notice that that they have him with the club behind him. And this is important because the Jack of Clubs has a connection to Jesus, because in the same cipher as Jesus, Jack of Clubs equals Jesus. So you have this character, Jesus, Seth Rollins, Jack of Clubs, the club. He plays the Jack character now. He plays like the Joker character, okay? This guy, Seth Rollins. And so and remember, Roman Reigns, who's used to be in a team with Seth Rollins, he's born in 1985. So 985, you got in the year, right? 985. So Roman Reigns obviously connects to the Roman Catholic Church. Jesus, a mockery of Jesus, Seth Rollins, Jack of Clubs. Now look at this. The Jack is also in the name of CM Punk, Philip Jack Brooks. So on either side of Roman Reigns, you have a Jack connection. You have the character who plays the Jack of Clubs, right? And you have a guy with the name Jack in it, right? And in the center, you have the Roman Empire, the Roman Reigns, born in the year of 985, like Jesus. So you have this whole connection between these, and there's more to, guys, I didn't even get a chance to look more deeply into these three, but there's certainly a huge connection probably to be found here with these three, okay? And CM Punk, I believe, stands for ceremonial magic. CM stands for ceremonial magic. And this connects back to Alistair Crowley, the Golden Dawn. Yeah, so I think that's, and notice it's a triple threat match. Triple again, you have the threes again. Remember, 33 is the big number here, the threes. This is a triple threat match. 3 days. Jesus was buried and resurrected after 3 days. You have 3 people in the main event. Because it's not always a 3-person match, guys. So there's an important piece that is just 3 people, okay? Oh, I also put this in here. You remember the Jesus character here? Look at Seth Rollins literally wearing the Baphomet. Like, literally wearing the Baphomet. So, I mean, like, that is what that is. So yeah, here he is dressing like Jesus, and his name equals Jesus, but here he is wearing the Baphomet. And the Baphomet, of course, represents 2 into 1. So 201. I think that's what the Baphomet, in my opinion, just represents something very simple. And Rollins, somebody in the chat's mentioning the name Rollins. Think about this, guys. Rolling the stone away. Roll. Remember, we have The Rock involved in this, and now we have a guy named Rollins. So you have this connection between rolling the stone away from the grave, right? So you have that connection. You have the Alistair Crowley connections. You have the big part of this is the Jesus connection and the 985. We're just going to recap, and then we're going to get to your comments. But this is the meat of this presentation. Trump's inauguration to the earthquake in Myanmar, 895, the same span between championship, John Cena's last championship he won, to the record breaking of Alexander Ovechkin. So you guys can go back and watch, but this all connects back to this date span that connects. I mean, guys, let me know in the chat, what is the chances that John Cena and Cody Rhodes, who are fighting each other, are born 895 apart, which is the exact span from John Cena's last championship, where he lost his last championship, to the day that they fight? Like, that's incredible, man. Like, that's incredibly well planned. Like, John Cena's last championship to the time he's facing Cody for his next one is the exact same span that those two guys were born. Like, it's ridiculous. It's perfect. And not only that, but from him winning his last championship to the record-breaking 895 goal was also 895. It's so perfect. And then the 895 leads us to this one, and then that leads us to this with the Jesus connection. So we're going to go to your comments now. We're already an hour and 23 minutes in. Please hit the like buttons if you haven't already. I appreciate that, as always. Yeah, there's way more with these characters. Like, I can't cover every character. But, and keep an eye out for this Lady Gaga match, or this Lady Gaga thing tonight at Coachella. What does Coachella equal? Hold on. Oh my gosh. Guys, Coachella equals 33. So Lady Gaga is at Coachella, and that's got the 33, which is the same as the Death Star. Yeah, I already talked about that, but that's interesting. My mom's in the chat. Love you, Mom. I know my mom misses me and I miss her. So everyone give some love to my mom, please. She could use it. Somebody's Monmon saying palm tree is 8559. Interesting. Somebody's saying 895 days after January 1st lands on Trump's birthday. All right. Guys, also considering that Alistair Crowley, summoned a demon 119 years ago, today is exactly 119 years after the Great San Francisco earthquake. So today is the 119th anniversary of this earthquake. So that's something to watch for. 119 years later in San Francisco. And where is Jey Uso from? Where is Jey Uso from, guys? San Francisco. Pope Francis, Saint Francisco, right? It's all connected to San Francisco. The Church of Satan, founded in San Francisco. Jey Uso from San Francisco. Today is the 119th anniversary of the Great San Francisco earthquake. Thank you guys for sending some love to my mom. Lots of love for my mom. Yeah, that's Ping is writing the definition. Yeah, I knew that, Ping, but thank you for reiterating that in the chat. So I don't know. Considering that Jey Uso is main event, are we going to get another earthquake maybe? And that's also why I brought in the earthquake earlier, because remember that earthquake in Myanmar was also 8 years, 9 weeks, and 5 days after Trump's inauguration. So, yeah, I think that I was going to say something else, but now I've forgotten it. Oh, and this whole thing with Jay main event-ish, the Ishtar thing, I thought that was pretty cool. Or not cool, but I thought that was crazy. My mom says you all are awesome. That is true. You guys all are awesome. Again, guys, make sure you guys go check out Decoding Our Realities video he did on 420. That'll make this day even more interesting to you guys because he did some great decoding. He's saying 420 is 9/11 1 weeks after California was founded. So there's your 9/11. Oh, really? Earthquake and typhoon are in the Hall of Fame this year. What? I didn't see that. The legendary professional wrestling duo, the Natural Disasters, comprising Earthquake and Typhoon, will be inducted into the WWE class of 2025 Hall of Fame right before Wrestlemania. What in the world? Wow. Guys, I didn't even know this. I was talking about this earthquake, and the WWE is literally inducting a group called the Natural Disasters into the Hall of Fame called Earthquake and Typhoon. What? Like here, right here. Guys, there's probably a whole decode on this. I gotta decode this at least a bit, guys, while I'm on here. They're called the natural disasters. The natural disasters, which are not so natural. Well, there's John Cena's birthday. John Cena's birthday is 23rd of April, 234. Actually, this 234 number has been coming up an awful lot. Oh, look at that, guys. Natural disasters. 201. Bam. So this group, natural disasters, I mean, if you take out the it equals 201. Earthquake and typhoon. The Brotherhood of Death. Oh, man, I'm going to have to look into these guys. All right, so there's just another key point to this WrestleMania. You have the natural disasters being inducted into the Hall of Fame. Thank you, guys, and thanks to my mom for being here. She's great. I love you. And thanks to everyone who's chatting with my mom in there. Ping, I don't have a Facebook that I use, no. Decoding Our Reality says, wrestler Jimmy Superfly Snuka died 8 years, 95 days before 420. Wow, great find. Wow. Great find. So he died on January 15, 2017. So right before Trump's first inauguration. Yeah, so it's literally going to be 8 years and 95 days since he died on WrestleMania. Just another 895 connection, man. Let's see what he equals. Jimmy Superfly Snuka. And this is another connection to Samoans. Jimmy Superfly Snuka. Oh, look at that. Jimmy Snuka equals 136. That's going to be Hitler's 136th birthday. James Ryer Snuka. Well, there you go, too. You got the 255. That's the day. That's how many days are left in the year on April 20th. So, yeah, just so many different connections, my friends. He died in Florida, huh? Yeah. Pompano Beach, Florida, yeah. His real name wasn't even Snuka. He must have changed it to that. So, wait, what is 8 years, 9 weeks, and 5 days after he died? So 8 years and 9 weeks, 5 days after he died was on March 24th. So that same date span. So yeah, there's definitely something with that. James Wiley Smith. Oh, guess who else is being inducted into the Hall of Fame, guys? Triple H. So I just did a whole decode about Triple H a few weeks ago. So if you guys haven't checked that out, Triple H is the COO of WWE, but he was a former wrestler. Of course, Triple H is 888, but he's going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame as well. I did a whole video about Triple H. So if you guys, I did an extensive video about him. There was a total lunar eclipse 895 days before 420. That's, man, decoding your reality. Thank you for these connections. So decoding our reality says again with another connection, there was a total lunar eclipse 895 days before 420. Well, that's probably a big that's a big connection because these eclipses are huge. Okay, yeah, so it was it was if you span the day, it's 895 days before April 20th was a total lunar eclipse. Guys, total lunar eclipse 136, Saros 136. So 895 days before Hitler's 136th birthday, it was the 136 Saros lunar eclipse. I mean, wow. That's perfect. I talked about the 136 and the 895, and they come together perfectly again, leading to this day again. Yeah, the Myanmar earthquake was on Lady Gaga's birthday. Yeah, I forgot to mention that. And Lady Gaga, man, she's connected to this too because she's also born in 86, which is just a year after Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns and all these other characters. And Zifrin, I see you're trying to get me to look at something. My girlfriend, she says, please hit the like buttons. Yes, thank you guys for hitting the like buttons. Let's see if we can get to 150 likes before the stream's over. The movie Buster's Mall Heart is an hour 36 minute. I don't know what that is, then, Zifrin. What is that? I'm just going to look at it real fast. I don't know if it's connected to this, but oh, so this is not, this has already been released. Yeah, I don't know anything about this in Zifrin, but I will look at it. Yeah, I'll look into it for sure. I never heard of it. Yeah, Mr. S is talking about the CM Punk connection with Seth Rollins. In that match, you have Roman Reigns with the Architect. Seth Rollins is known as the Architect, and CM Punk is the Saint. So yeah, I might have to do more about that match. Yeah, 8 plus 9 plus 5 is 22. That's right. At the last Trump equals 895. Really? Oh, wow. Wow. Well, that is the phrase they use in the King James Bible, isn't it? Yeah, at the last trump. Huh. The King James version, it literally says, this is like the rapture things. I just talked about the rapture stuff before. This all connects to that. At the last trump, that equals 895. That is an absolutely huge find, really. If you think about it, guys, that is a huge find because at the last trump equals 895. I mean, that's just crazy. That's the phrase that's what they say in the verse, at the last trump. And of course, we're in Trump. And that's in that same cipher that I didn't use a different cipher there, guys. It's the same cipher. So big shout out to the branch for that one. I find it interesting that Eye of Horus equals 894, which is one off from 895. Yeah, there's a huge 288 connection. Trump will be 28800 days old on April 20th. Calm before the storm equals 288. Alexander Ovechkin. Alexander, his full name equals 288. There's a lot of 288s. I don't want to get into them here, but if you guys didn't see Decoding Our Realities video, that's the 288s are in his video. But Ishtar equals 288 in two ciphers. But Alexander Ovechkin's full name equals 288, and this whole thing was tied to Alexander Ovechkin. Widow's son says son of God equals 288. Well, there you go. Look at that. I mean, that's crazy. Trump's going to be 288. It equals 288 in primes. So that's crazy. Son of God equals 95, man. Son of God equals Jey Uso. You see that? Jey Uso, I already talked a lot about him. Jey Uso equals son of God. I mean, come on now. And again, his name is Joshua. Joshua equals Jesus. President Donald Trump equals 95. I believe his full name, Jey Uso's full name, Joshua Samuel Fatu equals 95. Yep. In a different cipher, of course, but his full name equals 95. His stage name equals 95. Yeah, somebody's mentioning in the chat also that the initials DT is 420. Yeah. There's probably way more to talk about with the Mary Joanna. Like, I wanted to talk more about that. But considering that Jey Uso is the type of character that would be like kind of considered like I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't smoke a little bit of, you know what? I bet he does. He's that kind of guy that I would, I bet all of them do. In fact, Travis Scott was smoking marijuana live on the show when they beat Cody Rhodes. So if anyone wants to look into the marijuana thing, and the marijuana reminds me of Mary, like Mother Mary. I mean, that's how it starts, right? Like Mary. And then when you add the whole thing, it's 88, like Trump. So that is more something to think about. Coffee Girl says, "What am I trying to say?" Yeah, I mean, I don't want to say the word, but I'm trying to say it so I don't want to get like demonetized or anything. But I'm just trying to be careful about. I mean, I don't do it, but I mean, honestly, I don't see much. I don't see that it's any worse than doing a cigarette. I mean, I don't personally for me, I don't inhale smoke because I just feel like it doesn't make sense to inhale smoke into your body. But I mean, that people that do that, it's whatever they can do it. But like, I think that I mean, I grew up around it. I've never done it myself. So let's put it that way. But so decoding our reality again. Tomorrow is 985 days after Trump's Florida home was raided. No way. So that was 8/8. So WrestleMania is literally starts on the 985 days after Trump's Mar-a-Lago raid. Holy moly, man. Wow. So there you go again, guys. Another amazing find by by decoding our reality. I mean, he's just looking at all these date durations and seeing, and it's perfect. Yeah, marijuana is AKA Mary Jane, yeah. Gigi says I make these awesome cookies. Nice. Yeah, it helps with the pain, yeah. Yeah, I get that. It's good. It does help. I mean, I've never taken it because I just never have, but I mean, for some people, I'm sure it really helps. Look how long Trump's been in office to today, you mean, Lorna? I know it's been 88 days. Since he took office this time, it's been 88 days. Yeah, it helps with the pain, Coffee Girl, yeah. And yeah, if you don't smoke, I just think smoking something is just doesn't make any sense to me, but like I mean, I get the idea. I just don't know who was the first human. Can someone answer me this? Who was the first person to pick up a plant, wrap it in a paper, and decide to smoke it? Like somebody has to teach you that, right? Like, how does that just come into your mind? Like, how does a concept like that come into a human being's mind? Like, does it just pop into your mind and say, is that Satan saying that? Like Satan coming into your mind saying, hey, you should pick up that weed there, wrap it in a piece of paper and light it on fire and then breathe in the smoke. Like, where does that even come from? Like, there's no logic in that, in my opinion. Unless you're just trying to be like stupid. Like, yeah. I always think about these things, guys. I think about who was the first person to do these things. Like Dielectric Truth says, what was the guy who first milked a cow? Yeah. Like who was the who what like what come into his mind? Like, let me go grab on that cow's udders and try to get milk out of it. Like that's a bit more. I mean, I could see that being a bit more like logical, but still not very logical. It was started with a trippy forest fire. Okay. uh, so yeah, it started with a forest fire, and then they breathed in the smoke, and then they got high, and then they realized, wait, that made us high, so we got to go find that and make it. Okay, I figured it out, guys. It started with a field of marijuana on fire, and there was a bunch of Native Americans standing by this field, and they were breathing it in, and they were like, they got high from it, and then they realized that they got high, and they liked that feeling, so they were like, oh, we can do this. I mean, that has to be it, guys. It has to be. There was a marijuana field fire, and it made everyone high. That's it. That's how I'm making sense of it in my mind. Our thoughts are not ours. I agree with that. I actually agree. Where do our thoughts come from, right? I don't reach into the universe and say I want to have this thought at this time, right? I just don't do that. I don't say I want to think about this right now, right? Things just come to me half the time. Like I don't say it's like God gives me an idea, right? Or you could say if you're on the other side, people would say that Satan gives them an idea. I don't know. Yeah, tobacco. I don't know who started smoking tobacco either. Like, how do you even come to that idea? Anyways, we got off topic again, but I'm having fun with you guys. Thanks so much. Um, my girlfriend agrees with me. She says smoking is pointless and a waste of money. Yes, that's where we definitely agree. I mean, I have nothing against CBDs because that stuff works. I know it does. I mean, whatever. I mean, my cousin, he was a big smoker, right? So, like, I grew up around seeing that stuff. It's not like I'm unaware of it. I just never did it. I just never wanted to do it. Um, yeah. Yeah, I know that humans have cannabinoid receptors in the nervous system. Yeah. Do they have nicotine receptors too? I didn't know that. CBDC, yeah. I wonder if that's it. They've been talking about the CBDCs and then you have CBD oil. Let's see. Uh, I'm just reading comments. Thank you to the 157 of you still in here. Yeah, it's interesting. Susan's bringing up Samoa because this whole decode is about Samoan wrestlers. And don't forget, Trump was inaugurated with the Samoan Ulafala, right? But she's saying that in Samoa they grow their own tobacco and they don't have cancers. I believe you. I think that a lot of the cancers probably come from the chemicals they put in with the tobacco. Because if you think about it, guys, even though I don't find any sense in smoking. You got to think that supposedly the Native Americans and the Samoans and the Indians have been smoking stuff for a century, for long ages, right? And I would imagine that back then they weren't also laced with chemicals like a lot of this stuff nowadays. So it's always the additives that are bad. Like most of the stuff that you buy and eat, it's just the additives. Just you make your own stuff and it's way healthier. I mean, I have taken the oil too, guys, over the past. I haven't taken like the stuff that gets you high, but I've taken like the pain relieving CBD oils. Do I think that Trump will help Cody Rhodes win? I don't know. Stone Cold might be there. Yeah. I don't know about any of that. I don't know. We'll see what happens, but I guess anything's possible. Trump is connected to wrestling, so he could show up. I would be crazy if he showed up there. Metatonic cycle says passionate about moderation. Yeah, that's a good way to live. Everything in moderation, right? Even water, guys. You can't drink too much water. You'll die from drinking too much water too. So Susan says she takes 1 or 2 edibles daily for chronic pain. Helps me to beat opiates. Yeah. I mean, I guess this is a perfect topic for talking about 420 because we're all talking about this now. So, I mean, with all this, like, I think the big thing here is like, I'm just wondering what they have. I don't think that, to be honest, guys, it's a holiday. They usually don't have events happen on holidays, but we will keep our eyes out and see. I mean, maybe something happens at WrestleMania. Like it seems like everything that's pointing to that day is also pointing to WrestleMania. So you know, when I was in Hawaii, guys, I was living. I'll tell you guys a bit of a story here to finish this decode off, but in 2016 or 2017, I can't remember. I was not in a great state, so I was traveling across the United States with my backpack, and I found myself in Hawaii, living on a beach there, staying in a tent on the beach in Hawaii, and of course, in Hawaii, you get a lot of people that are smoking all kinds of different things. But when I was there, I actually had a job for a little bit on the island, picking tobacco leaves and rolling and stringing the tobacco leaves up, and we would string the tobacco leaf. We would pick them, and then we would string them up, and then we would put them in the thing to dry. So that actually, I got paid pretty well for that back there in Hawaii. Uh, Thinking back on it, I probably should have just stayed there and camped out every night. Um, and then saved up a bunch of money. I didn't have a rent. I was staying in a tent on a beach, guys, and then I was working in a tobacco field. Man, I love Hawaii though. I mean, I would love to go to Samoa. I would love to go to these places like Samoa, Fiji, Hawaii. That part of the world. I also would love to go to Japan. The Pacific part of the world is what fascinates me the most, to be honest. All right, so yeah, it's not what goes in the mouth of a man that maketh him unclean and defiled, but what comes out. That is absolutely true. So, yeah. Hawaii has been completely ruined. Yeah, probably. Even since when I was there, I bet it's gotten worse. Um, my mom said she was made in Japan. Yeah. Hey, mom, I actually considering that I sent Maria this video of this cat island in Japan. There's like a island of cats. And there's like hundreds of cats on the island or something like that. But Japan is definitely still on my list. I do want to go there. That's if a tsunami doesn't take it out first. That's the one thing. Um, that's the one thing that I wanted to do, like, because, well, that's the one thing I kind of didn't want to go to Japan for, because you never know when they're going to have an earthquake and tsunami there. But I mean, it doesn't happen often. So Joseph Aquaviva's in the chat. There he is. Hope he's doing well. How are you, brother? You doing okay out there? Definitely missing your videos, but I hope you're at least taking care of yourself and the family and feeling better. Skies I suppose Can says that Cat Island in Japan is one place I'd really like to go. Yeah, me too. I love cats. I grew up with cats and not dogs, so I love dogs too, but I guess cats have a special place. Joseph says, one day at a time. Much love, brother. Yeah, one day at a time, man. That's a good way to think about it. But we're looking forward to seeing you back again at some point. All right, guys. I think we should wrap this up. No, I'm not going to wrap this up at 2:01. I can't end this at 2:01. But yeah, so again, make sure you guys leave comments in the end of the video. If anything you find, again, Decoding Our Reality has been finding amazing stuff. A lot of you other guys also shared stuff. So make sure you guys don't forget to share the comments in the video afterwards. Also, make sure you hit the like button on the way out if you would. And I got my Buy Me a Coffee link at the top if you guys are willing to support. I got 10 days. I got 10 days or so until I can return to Germany. So I'm excited about that. And again, if you guys want to support the channel, help me out on my way back, I can always use the support. That's just there if you want. But the best thing to do is to hit the likes and hit the likes for yourselves too, guys. If I could hit the like for every one of you, I would, because you guys did amazing in this stream. Like, without you guys, I wouldn't find half this stuff. So, and make much love to Enzifern. Make sure you guys, he has a channel as well if you guys want to subscribe to him. Just a reminder to check out Buster's Mall Heart. Yeah, I'll look into that. All right, guys, take care out there. Have a great weekend. I might be back tomorrow with another video or sometime, but we'll see what happens at WrestleMania. Thank you guys for watching, and until next time, God bless you all.